How the education system shapes and suppresses creativity. Students don't begin as memorization machines. They begin with curiosity, ideas, and creativity. Every mind thinks differently. But once they enter the system, something changes. The education system does not reward thinking. It rewards correct answers, speed, and memorization. Students are not weak. They understand the main ideas. But there is too much content and too little time. So they are forced to choose, think deeply, or keep up. Exams don't measure understanding. They measure how fast you can recall information. And under pressure, students adapt. They stop questioning. They start memorizing. Over time, thinking becomes less important than getting the answer. Then AI enters the picture, not as a learning tool, but as a survival tool. Students don't use AI to think. They use it to keep up. This is not misuse by choice. It is misuse by design. Because when the system rewards output, shortcuts become the smartest strategy. Slowly, creativity begins to fade. Students become more standardized, more mechanical. But the real world is different. Real problems are not multiple choice. They require creativity and critical thinking. And many struggle, not because they lack ability, but because they were never trained to think that way. This is not a student failure. It is a system outcome. The system did not fail students. It shaped how they think. So the real question is not, why do students misuse AI? The real question is, what kind of system makes misuse necessary? It's time to rethink education.
So as you've seen from the video, most students are born with unique creative thinking and curiosity to explore new ideas. But the problem is that the current education system standardized and mechanized their thinking. To understand why is that, we have to go back to its origins. It was always efficiency. It trained people to follow instructions, repeat tasks, and produce standardized output. And today, we are still using that same system to evaluate modern students. So that's exactly where the unfairness begins. We're basically judging 21st century minds using a 19th century model that was designed for that period. And now in the 21st century, with the AI, and everything happening, everything being automated, the system is no longer as valuable as it once was. It's a system that rewards memorization and punishes exploration. Today, this issue is becoming critical because with the rise of artificial intelligence, routine-based tasks are rapidly being automated. Any role based on repetition is at risk. What remains uniquely human is creativity, critical thinking, and problem solving. And the problem is that these are exactly the skills the current education system suppresses. This creates a gap between how students are trained and what the future actually demands. To understand the issue, we conducted a study involving 140 students. The results revealed what we call the survival gap. Students were not using AI because they are lazy. I mean, this is what we found in our study. They were actually using it to survive the academic pressure. The system, because the system demands speed and output. And so students basically turned to AI as a shortcut. But obviously, this comes at a cost. Students reported stress, burnout, and a fear of failure that prevents independent thinking. Even one student said it clearly in the surveys we've done. And I quote, use AI as a guide, not as a brain. So this actually shows that students want to think, but the system does not allow them to. And not to mention, uh, obviously, stress and all of that is very important, but also students are not learning. They're not learning enough. They are not learning as it should be, because when they use AI as a shortcut, when they study based on recall studying, they are basically prioritizing recall based study techniques, and this is not good for the long term. They won't understand much, they won't help the society in the future.
Okay, let's talk about the methodology. Let's move beyond observation. Our study was more of an experimental study. So we had two groups. We had group B and group A. Group A was based upon traditional model learning, which was more of using memorization and recalling information, while group B was based upon ACE model framework. I'm gonna be talking about ASC later on upon this video. So let's get into the method. First of all, in phase one, we have student learning a curriculum and having a test. So we can understand is memorizing was better than using an AI that help you to understand. In phase two, we had the retest. This retest will help us understand if they understand or measure the retention of information, the deep understanding of the context, and the efficiency of AI using in education. Now I'm going to be explaining the ACE module more in a drawing manner to be much easier. So see you up there. This is where our solution comes in, the ACE module. The ACE model is composed of three different letters. You have the letter A, and the letter C, and the letter E. Each of them represent a word. Like A means argument, C means create, E means elevate. So under argument, we are focusing that AI is used to support thinking, not replace it. So this will help us handle repetitive tasks and help students understand their concepts. The other concept that we are focusing on is creation, because creativity is important because it stands for the students based upon their building, solving, and application, not their memory. So grading will be highly favorable for students. Lastly is elevate, in which we elevate the thinking more than doing a mechanical workload. We will elevate it toward analysis, synthesis, and innovation.
The issue is not AI itself, it's how it's used. And I'll tell you how. Most students use AI to get answers instantly, like ChatGPT, for example. They use ChatGPT as a shortcut. They type, for example, ChatGPT, what is the meaning of homeostasis? ChatGPT gives them the answer immediately. Homeostasis is, for example, the body maintaining balance, internal balance. So, but that's not how a true AI works, because a true AI tutor works differently. Obviously, ChatGPT isn't an AI tutor, it's just an AI. What we were testing is an AI tutor. It's basically like an excellent tutor, a private tutor, I would say, an excellent private tutor, because obviously we can't give every student his own human private tutor, but I do believe that the AI tutor is even better. This idea, inspired by Can Migo, like it's a very good example, and my idea was inspired from it, so I gotta give credit. But my idea is that we need an AI to be a tutor for every student, an excellent tutor that guides their thinking. For example, when you give that same answer that you gave to ChatGPT, that ChatGPT immediately gave you the answer, just directly. That doesn't really support the thinking, right? That doesn't really stimulate your thinking. That doesn't guide your understanding. That doesn't make you think deep. That doesn't make you connect the ideas. What the AI tutor would do, that you ask him the same question: what is homeostasis? And it just asks you questions, it builds on your understanding, and helps you and guides you connect the ideas, and guides your understanding, make you think deeply, make you connect. So the difference is not the tool, it's the design. I do believe that if an AI tutor was designed to be part of the education system, to be integrated into the education system, just like a private, perfect tutor, that would be great. While enjoying learning and being more productive and building a better world. It's time to rethink education. Thank you.